Hi, I'm Patrick Risley. I'm pastor and teaching elder here at First Presbyterian Church, Fort Lauderdale, and welcome to today's daily devotional that we call This One Thing, in that we want you to remember one thing from the lectionary reading that we take from the Daily Common Lectionary, which happens today come from the book of Ephesians, chapter 2, verses 1 through 10. It's one of those great scriptures that encapsulates what it means really to be loved by God. And particularly, I just want to lift up verse 5 to you from this text. Listen to what Paul says. It says, "It is by grace you have been saved." By grace you have been saved. Love those words. What do they mean? Well, grace means unmerited love. It means being given love that's not deserved or warranted. It's a love that is given where the giver has a sense of enjoyment and pleasure in giving love and expressing love. That's what grace means. There's enjoyment on the giver's part. But then by grace, by the enjoyment of a giving of a gift, we are saved. And saved is an interesting word. It means not only to save one's soul, as we think about it oftentimes in Christianity, but it also means to be made whole, to be made complete, to be made complete. So it is through unmerited, pleasurable grace by God and God's good pleasure that you and I are made whole, saved, reunited, connected to the living source of God. So friends, let me ask you, which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Well, we're going to answer that great theological question with this scripture today. You see, this one thing I want us to remember is that we are graced in order to live right, okay? We got it backwards oftentimes. We think that we have to live right, and the fancy word for that is to live a sanctified life, a holy life, in order to live a justified life, okay? And that means a set-apart life. So if we live a right way, we will be given grace, and we respond by living in that justification. Well, Reformed theologians and Reformed Christians like you and me, we flip it around. You see, there's nothing we can do to set ourselves apart to be justified in God's sight. So what we do instead is we believe that we are made justified first by Jesus on the cross. Jesus does for us what we cannot do for ourselves. It is God's pleasurable grace through giving of his Son for you and for me to have life. And the result of that is salvation, or wholeness, completeness. So God gives us grace. Our act of grace is to live right in response. So we don't live right to be blessed by God. We live right and sanctified as a response to God's love for us. Think about that. There's nothing you and I can do to earn the love of God, except to say, God, I need you, I love you, will you be mine? That's when God's grace kicks in first. And with a pleasure that only God has, he pulls us from the mire, makes us whole. All we can do in response is to live a sanctified life in return. And that shows grace back to God on our part. So friends, this one thing today, remember, our salvation, our wholeness, our reconnection to ad phantom, the living source, is because God takes the initiative first. We respond in a holy life and with a holy life. My friends, you be blessed this day, and I'll see you Sunday.